Today we're going to open some vintage trading cards. Stay tuned. Hello and welcome back. Today I have something a little bit different for you. I'm calling it Wax Pack Memories. I have this selection of old Topps trading cards that were released between 1978 and 1981, and I'm going to open these packs and see what's inside. Now I know some people get upset when you open vintage things, but trust me, none of these card packs are particularly valuable. I picked all of these up quite reasonably for the sole purpose of opening them and seeing what's inside. I loved picking up trading card packs like this when I was a kid. Before the rise of home media, once you saw a movie in a theater, there was no way to watch it at home, so collecting things like toys and trading cards would give you those tangible memories of something that you really enjoyed. Two things I have to help me out. One is this little trash bucket to put all the bubblegum in, because you do not want to try to chew 50-year-old sticks of trading card bubblegum. It would probably be similar to chewing on broken glass. And I have this little scale I'm going to use to help me get the packs open without tearing them up too much, because I do want to save those wrappers as well. Going in chronological order, let's start with Battlestar Galactica. Released by Topps in 1978. There would always be advertisements on the back of the wax pack wrappers, usually for bubblegum or candy products. And this one is advertising Bazooka Bubblegum. The glue on these packs is very old, so most of these should come open quite easily. I assume all the gum in these packs is going to be in quite poor condition. Yeah, you definitely don't want to chew this after all these years. Safety first. Right off the bat, we've got a good one. Dirk Benedict as Starbuck. Lieutenant Starbuck posed for action. There's always different bits of information on the back of these cards. This one is a TV fax. Number 7 of 21, it's a quote from producer Glenn Larson. Cylon Centurions on the march. This scene is from, I believe, the pilot episode where the Galactica crew stopped on the planet of the Ovions. And that was a trap. Too bad Admiral Akbar wasn't there to warn them. Lorne Greene as Adama, A Day of Deliverance. All right, I'm assuming the back of this card being all black is part of a puzzle. Usually there was a bunch of cards that had puzzle pieces on the back, and you'd have to collect them all to assemble like a poster-sized puzzle. The Colonists counterattack. We got another shot of a Cylon. And that's all that was in that pack. I did not get a sticker. We are supposed to get a sticker in every pack. Not sure what happened there. I bought these Battlestar Galactica packs at a convention. Hopefully these were not previously opened and somebody took out the stickers, but I guess we'll see in the next pack. The Colonists and the Insectoids. That's when they were on that Ovion planet. Jane Seymour as Serena. Apollo's love interest, post-apocalypse. Adar's final moments. Adar was the president of the 12 colonies, played by Lew Ayres. Kind of felt bad for this character. He was trusting that these Cylons wanted armistice, but they did not. They wanted extermination. And a shot of the Galactica herself. And again, no sticker in this pack. I'm beginning to get worried here. All right, here's the last Galactica pack, and still no sticker. So I'm beginning to think that I was kind of swindled on these packs and that they were previously opened. But we got the cards anyway, so let's take a look at these. Young Boxy, Apollo's adopted son being escorted by the Ovions. Athena in action. Apollo's sister Athena, Adama's daughter. One of 3 children that Adama had. Spoiler alert, he only has 2 by the end of the pilot. Nice shot of the Cylon Raiders. And we have Starbuck and Boomer. I like Boomer. Herbert Jefferson Jr. played Boomer. So that was a good little set of cards. I think I like the Starbuck and the Galactica one the best. Too bad about the stickers not being in there, but hopefully we'll have better luck with the rest of the packs we open. I only have 1 pack of these, Buck Rogers in the 25th Century from 1979. Gil Gerard, Erin Gray, Tweaky. This one promises 10 photo cards and 1 sticker. Hopefully they're all in there. The back ad is for a Super Sports Card Locker. Alright, starting off with Buck being served a drink by Tweaky and Dr. Theopolis. Tweaky's tonic. And on the back, a description of the scene. Bizarre rescuer. I'm not really sure what's going on in this scene. We'll have to read the back. I like the interesting border design they did on these cards. The lightning effect with the little pictures in each corner of Buck, Wilma, Tweaky, and Princess Ardala. Okay, that's the scene in the pilot where Buck ventures outside the futuristic city into the wasteland of mutants, and he has to be rescued. I believe he was looking for his old home in that scene. If you're not aware of the plot of Buck Rogers in the 25th Century, Buck is an astronaut that is put into suspended animation and returns to Earth 500 years later. Here's Gil Gerard and Pamela Hensley as Princess Ardala. Here's another great shot of Ardala with her very memorable horned headdress. When Mego created the figure of her, this is the outfit they used for the design, with that giant horned headdress. Erin Gray as Wilma Deering. And we do have the sticker in this pack. This is Buck in a Draconian guard disguise. Classic old trope where the hero knocks out one of the guards and dresses up in his uniform to blend in. A ploy that always works, whether it's the Wizard of Oz or Star Wars. Buck? Gasp. A traitor? The Computer Council. In this future, society is run by artificial intelligence. Good thing that could never happen now, huh? Everyone's favorite character in this show, I think, is Tweaky. Felix Silla in the costume, with a voice provided by Mel Blanc. Everyone likes a robot with a little bit of snark. The Draconian Armada. The Draconians were the enemies of the Earth. In Buck Rogers, this was their standard ship. Their version of a TIE fighter or a Cylon Raider. And the last card looks like Buck's shuttle returning to Earth. I think my favorites out of this bunch would be Ardala and Tweaky. I have quite a few packs from 1979. Here's the first one from Disney's The Black Hole. Again, this promises 10 cards and 1 sticker. Only have 1 pack of The Black Hole, so hopefully we get some good cards. Alright, first off we have the Captain's Fight for Life. Captain Holland, played by Robert Forster, battling one of those Sentry robots. This first card has a little bit of residue from something on it. Not sure if that's from the glue on the pack or the bubble gum. He's a genius, not a madman. Durant, played by Anthony Perkins, talking to Yvette Mimieux. And there's a nice shot of Maximilian in the background. Of course, he's talking about Dr. Reinhardt, who actually was a madman, turns out. This is a nice shot. There's Robert Forster as the captain, in back of Vincent and Old Bob. Vincent was voiced by Roddy McDowall, and Old Bob voiced by Slim Pickens. And Old Bob is one of the most desirable figures to get from the old Mego toy line from '79. Kate's unorthodox escape. There's Yvette Mimieux with Old Bob. Crew of humanoids. These characters were very, very creepy. Here's our sticker, which is, appropriately enough, a shot of the black hole. Yvette Mimieux's character of Kate being captured by the Sentry robots. Give me all you got, Vincent. This is quite a ridiculous shot of Joseph Bottoms riding Vincent like a pony. Plotting a star course, the crew of the spaceship Palomino. And we finish off with a couple of character cards for Captain Dan Holland, played by Robert Forster, and Dr. Alex Durant, played by Anthony Perkins. On the back of the cards, there are a few that give you the story summary, but most of them are puzzle pieces. But we do get a card that shows you what the completed puzzle looks like. This was very helpful if you were trying to do the puzzle. If you got the one card that showed you what the completed puzzle looked like, it was easier to put it all together. The only toys I had from the original Mego toy line were the robots, so I think my favorite cards out of this set are the ones that feature the robots. Vincent, Old Bob, Maximilian, and the Sentries. Next up, also from '79, I've got 2 packs from Alien. And it's amazing to think how much merchandise from that film was aimed at kids, like trading cards and comic books and the Big Chap toy, even though this was a very R-rated horror film and not the next Star Wars, as 20th Century Fox would have led you to believe. On the back, an ad for some bazooka candy or gum, I'm not sure what that is. Whatever it is, I don't think they make it anymore. Well, this is an issue. A little worse for wear, but not too bad. Starting right off with a character card of Science Officer Ash, Ian Holm. We would eventually know Ian Holm as the lovable old Bilbo Baggins, but in Alien, not so lovable. And I do like the border design on the Alien cards. Simple but effective. Topps was always able to come up with a unique graphic design for all their different sets of trading cards. And on the back of the cards, the text appears in the sinister alien egg sac. Next up, Struggle with Ash. Sigourney Weaver's Ripley, having it out with the traitorous android. Spoiler alert, Ripley has survived her ordeal. The murderous android. Ash is getting a lot of love in this pack. Grotesque rock formations. Here's the sticker from this pack, and it's a nice one. The crew of the Nostromo inside that alien egg shape. And finally, we get a card of the star of the show, our boy the Xenomorph. Here's John Hurt as Kane, about to make the biggest mistake of his life. Don't look in that egg sack. The chamber entrance. Kind of a boring card. Get a good look at the set design though. And another look at the set design. And we'll finish off this pack with the crew emerging from hypersleep. Second pack. Hopefully we get some more good shots of the Xenomorph. I'd like to get a nice card of Ripley as well. No gum stuck to these. The search begins. An interior shot of the Nostromo. There's an awful lot of cards in this series highlighting the set design. Here we go, a nice Xenomorph card. The Face Grabber? Was it referred to as the Face Grabber at one time, or is that just something that Topps made up? It does not reference that name on the description on the back. I don't think I like Face Grabber as much as I like Face Hugger. The Steamy Peril is Yaphet Kotto and Harry Dean Stanton. A good shot of Harry Dean Stanton finding the alien skin. Nasty. The sticker in this pack. An exterior shot on LV-426. Nostromo Interiors. Enter the Hell Chamber. Well, that's a comforting thought. Here we go. The greatest final girl of all time. Ellen Ripley, Sigourney Weaver. That's a good card. Dawn on the Devil World. That shot looks familiar. Yep, it's the same shot we get on the sticker. And the last card is Searing Electrical Fire. So I think my favorites out of these packs are obviously going to be the two shots of the Xenomorph, the Ripley card, and that sticker of the entire crew is nice too. Sticking with 1979, we have one pack from Moonraker. Now, a lot of the subjects of these trading card packs were featured in the video I did about the aftermath of the original Star Wars film and how science fiction took over. One thing I didn't mention in that video was Moonraker. This was the Star Wars effect on James Bond. They sent Roger Moore into space. And Jaws was there too. On the back is an ad for Ring Pop, which is still being made. It's the most exciting new lollipop idea for fun since the invention of candy. That's certainly a grandiose claim. I don't know if it changed the world that much. Right off the bat, we can see that there was some serious emoting going on in this film. We get Evil Assassin Chang. Love the look on his face. And then the Deadly Fumes. This guy looks like he's about to die. Here's a good one. 007 fighting Jaws. I do not care for the border design on these cards. They have that curved edge, which I guess is supposed to be the moon, maybe, and they have the Moonraker logo inside the image on all of them. I think the border design intrudes on the image a little bit too much. Bond glides to safety. Here's a nice shot of Q. Desmond Llewellyn. Here's the sticker from this pack. Roger Moore in the classic James Bond pose. I like that. Nice shot of Richard Kyle as Jaws. I did do a whole video about the history of Jaws. Check that out if you like this character. Daring Escape, another shot of that scene with the hang glider. A shot from the end of the film, where Bond causes everything to blow up, as he usually does. Conferring with M. Our Bond girl from this one, Lois Chiles as Dr. Holly Goodhead. Some of those Bond girl names were a bit suggestive. I think my favorites out of this pack are going to be the Bond sticker and Jaws. Our last packs from 1979, I've got two packs from Star Trek the Motion Picture. The big return of Star Trek. Starting off with a Klingon Bird of Prey. There's a little bit of residue on this card. Not too bad. I don't think I like the design of these cards. I don't like that font. Looks a little too cartoony for Star Trek. On the back of that card, we got a nice shot of the completed puzzle. A portrait of the entire crew. The Surak craft. The Face of Terror. Why is he the Face of Terror? Space Intruder is kind of a boring card. Here's a good one. James Doohan as Montgomery Scott. The sticker in this pack, portrait of Ilya, played by Persis Khambatta. The Landing Party. That's a nice character shot. Return to the Bridge. Nice shot of Captain Kirk. with Chekhov and Sulu. We have a character card, Dr. Christine Chapel. Majel Barrett's character transitioned from nurse to doctor between the end of the original series and the film. Another character card featuring Ilya, Woman from Planet Delta, and Klingon warship from above. We started out this pack with a rear view of the Klingon ship, and now we get the top view. Let's get into the second pack from Star Trek. Betel's attendant, one of the aliens from the start of the film. Very artistic looking shot. Kirk, Spock, and the Enterprise. Another one of Ilya. Alien insectoid. I don't remember the names of all the different alien races that showed up at the start of this film, and the back of these cards is the puzzle, so no information on the back. Nice character shot of Bones. The sticker in this pack is another alien. Kind of a strange shape to the stickers in these packs. It's making it look like the saucer section with the nacelles coming off the bottom there. Starship under attack, all the actors throwing themselves about on the set. Scotty in engineering. Nice shot of the Enterprise. Nice portrait of Leonard Nimoy as Spock. And the last card in this pack is another one of Scotty investigating a malfunction. We got some good cards between those two Star Trek packs. I think these are my favorites. Now we have two packs from the inarguably greatest Star Wars movie, The Empire Strikes Back from 1980. On the back of this one is an ad for the Star Wars candy heads. I actually had all of those back then. They were little plastic hollow heads molded in monochrome colors. Darth Vader in black, Stormtrooper in white, Boba Fett in green, Chewie in brown, and C-3PO in gold, and they were filled with little bits of candy. I had a ton of Empire Strikes Back merchandise back in 1980. A bunch of these cards, along with the bed sheets and the lunchbox and all kinds of stuff. First up, a nice Han Solo card. Han and Lando. Han finding the half-frozen Luke in the wastelands of Hoth. And the border design on these Empire Strikes Back cards is just very simple. They're making the photos from the film the centerpiece of these cards, not the graphic design. But you do get a little more design on the back along with the movie logo. This one features a trivia question. Another one of Han searching for Luke. This pack is very Han Solo heavy so far. Preparing for battle. We finally get a Luke card. Luke on Bespin, about to get his ass kicked by his dad. I do recall that the stickers in these Empire Strikes Back cards were letters. So if you collected enough packs, you could spell out different things. Nice one of Leia, about to watch her boyfriend get frozen. They had some of these behind the scenes cards as well. These stood out with the film reel design around the text there. And this is a behind the scenes shot of the Millennium Falcon prop getting built. Another one of Han. Here's a nice card. Nice shot of Boba Fett's Slave One. This is a great pack of cards if you're a fan of Han Solo. Here's another one. And the last card in this pack is Chewie attempting to put 3PO back together. Starting off the second pack with another Han Solo. The man called Han Solo. Yes, we know. Imperial probe droid. That's a good one. Nice portrait of Carrie Fisher as Princess Leia. Another one of those behind the scenes shots. Filming around the big Millennium Falcon prop. And here is Luke in the midst of that aforementioned ass kicking. He's not having a great day. Here's the first time we've seen a checklist card in this video. Tops would include these to let you know how many cards were in each set, so you could make sure you had the complete set. Nice shot of Boba Fett on Bespin. The sticker in this pack, we get another E and an S. Different graphics on them, same letters. Luke again, post ass kicking. Very nice image of the carbon freezing chamber. And this will most likely be my favorite card from this set. Some beautiful artwork taken from one of the movie posters. This is card number 1 of this set. So this is the introduction telling you there's 132 cards and 33 stickers. And this is also Picture Card Series 2. So this is the second series of Empire Strikes Back cards that they made. Not sure how many they made for Empire. I know they made several for the original Star Wars film. And those can be identified by the different colored borders around each of the images. The capture of our heroes on Bespin. And the last card in this pack is Master Yoda. There were a lot of really good cards in those 2 packs. I'm going to pick these as my favorites. Lastly, for this video, we have 3 packs from Superman 2 from 1981. Let's see what we get. Right off the bat, we get Zod using his heat vision. A very nice shot of Christopher Reeve. The back of these cards gives you some story highlights. We get a nice character portrait of Perry White. But on the back, there's a quote from Mark McClure, who played Jimmy Olsen, so that's a bit odd that they wouldn't give you Perry White information on the back of his card. Here's an iconic shot. Getting a boot out of Ursa. Non giving Lois a piggyback ride to the fortress. How nice of him. Here's the sticker in this pack, Superman vs. Non. Another one of Non. So far, this pack has been all winners. Really nice photos on these cards. Superman taking away his powers at the fortress. The fortress itself. I believe the idea of the Fortress of Solitude being made of crystals originated with the Christopher Reeve films, and that's become pretty much standard across Superman mythology. The Phantom Zone trio, and a shot of Superman flying. That's pack 1. Let's get into pack 2. It's odd that the stick of bubblegum in these packs is significantly wider than all the other packs we've seen. I still wouldn't chew it though. Alright, this trend continues. We get the profile card for General Zod, but on the back we get a quote from Valerie Perrine about playing Miss Tessmacher. Zod invading the fortress. Nice shot of Ursa and Lois. Changing the face of the world. Literally. Here's a checklist card for this Superman set. Another shot of Superman. The sticker in this pack, very nice portrait of Christopher Reeve. Very determined look on his face. We have our first doubles. We saw both of these cards in the last pack. Ursa looking curiously at that unlucky rattlesnake. The battle in Metropolis. And I believe this is from right after Clark gave up his powers. He's just a normal guy now that can get beat up in roadside diners. Alright, we're starting off with Susanna York as Superman's Kryptonian mother, Lara. Now, if I recall correctly, when they did all the reshoots for Superman 2, which was a bit of a mess, they couldn't afford to bring Marlon Brando back, so Lara replaced Jor-El as the way Superman got his information from the fortress. On the back of this card, we get the text for the Perry White photo, so I would have to do a little research on this card set, but I'm guessing that there was some sort of mix-up at the printer where on these profile cards, the text that was printed on the back did not match the photo on the front. It's the only logical explanation I can think of. Another double, we have the Zod profile card again. Another double, and another, and another. Well, here's a new one finally. This is the sticker. Superman and Lois. At least that's not a double. Strange that I only bought 3 packs of these and I'm getting so many doubles. Good shot of Zod and Ursa causing chaos. Lois and Clark, we finally get a card with Christopher Reeve as the traditional Clark Kent. Perry White getting knocked out. Good thing that's a drop ceiling. He shouldn't be too injured. Another one of Ursa. And the last one is Superman and Lois. Even with all the doubles, we got a lot of nice cards in those Superman packs. I'm going to choose these as my favorites. Well, folks, that's it for this one, for now. I do have another stack of old trading cards from the mid-'80s to the early '90s that I'll be opening up, but that will be in another video. So right now I'll have to go get a nice binder to put these cards in. And I also have to figure out what to do with this old bubble gum. Maybe I can mix it up and patch some concrete around the house. It's about all that it's good for right now. Anyway, as always, thanks for watching, thank you for your time and attention, and I will see you in the next video.